Hello all and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into everything you need to know about Chiori, a 5-star Geo sword user having her rerun planned in the first phase of the version 5.1 banner. If you're curious about the best ways to build her, optimize her team comps, and unlock her full potential, you've come to the right place. Chiori is an off-field Geo damage dealer, and while she's similar to Albedo in that role, her unique kit gives her an edge in various team setups. We'll break down her talents, ideal artifacts, weapons, and the best teams to slot her into. So stick around if you want to get the most out of Chiori. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in. First up, let us take a look at her talents. Chiori's talents focus on off-field Geo damage, making her a strong support character for various team compositions. Her elemental skill and burst have distinct roles in her damage output, while her ascension passives boost her overall performance. Chiori's elemental skill, Fluttering Hasode, allows her to dash forward, summoning a Tamoto doll that deals AoE Geo damage based on both her attack and defense. The initial doll strikes multiple times, dealing damage at 3.6-second intervals. If there are any Geo constructs nearby, she summons an additional Tamoto, which boosts her total damage output. One of her key strengths is Geo energy generation. With each hit from the first doll, she has a 20% chance to generate 2 Geo particles, and an 80% chance to generate 1, allowing for efficient energy regeneration without needing to focus purely on her damage. Her elemental burst, Hyoku, Twin Blades, delivers AoE Geo damage in a single hit. While not particularly impressive in damage output, it serves as a solid addition to her kit. Building energy recharge isn't essential before Chiori's C2, where it becomes beneficial to use her burst every rotation. Chiori's Ascension 1 passive, Tailor-Made, offers 2 distinct effects based on the follow-up action after casting Fluttering Hasode. If Chiori uses her elemental skill again, she triggers the Tapestry effect, allowing her to switch characters and provide the active member with coordinated attacks from Tamoto. Alternatively, activating the tailoring effect grants Chiori a Geo infusion, which becomes especially effective when she reaches C6. For optimal damage output, prioritize activating Tapestry, as it significantly boosts team performance with coordinated attacks. Her Ascension 4 passive, the Finishing Touch, grants her a 20% Geo damage bonus for 20 seconds whenever a nearby party member generates a Geo construct. This straightforward effect ensures a consistent damage boost, making it particularly valuable in teams that focus on Geo synergy. Chiori's third passive grants her teammates a 10% increase in overworld movement speed, provided they are wearing any outfit other than the default one or using a wind glider different from Wings of First Flight. This effect does not activate in Spiral Abyss, Trounce domains, or regular domains. In summary, Chiori's talents are designed to maximize off-field damage while generating valuable Geo particles for her team. Prioritizing her elemental skill and making good use of her Ascension passives will significantly enhance her performance as a support character. For talent priority, it's best to level her elemental skill to the maximum level, as it's the core of her damage output. Her elemental burst can be leveled to 6 or 8, as it is less frequently used. There's no need to invest in her normal attack. It's also crucial to raise her to level 90, as her main damage source scales with her base defense, which increases significantly with leveling. Moving on to Chiori's Constellations. Her Constellations significantly enhance her combat capabilities, particularly transforming her role from off-field support to an on-field DPS character at C6. Chiori's C1 enhances her elemental skill by increasing the AoE of Tamoto by 50%. Additionally, if there is another Geo party member, she will summon an additional Tamoto after the dash, ensuring 2 Tamoto dolls appear. This constellation also triggers her Ascension 4 passive talent, the Finishing Touch, without needing a Geo construct, which boosts her damage potential, particularly in non-Geo teams. Her C2 introduces a new doll, Kinu, which is summoned every 3 seconds for 10 seconds after using her elemental burst. Kinu deals 170% of Tamoto's damage, further boosting Chiori's overall DPS output by adding this extra source of AoE Geo damage. This makes her burst more relevant and worth building around after this constellation. C3 increases the level of her elemental skill, Fluttering Hasode, by 3, enhancing the damage of her primary ability. With C4, Chiori can summon additional Kinu dolls for 8 seconds after triggering the effects of her Ascension 1 passive. Your active character can summon 1 Kinu per second, up to 3 per rotations, dealing AoE geo damage. This constellation further enhances her off-field support capabilities, adding more consistent damage when triggering follow-up effects from her skill. C5 adds 3 more levels to her elemental burst, Hyoku, Twin Blades. Although the burst doesn't contribute heavily to her damage output, this upgrade still increases her overall performance. Chiori's C6 changes her playstyle, enabling her to become a strong on-field DPS. After triggering her Ascension 1's follow-up effect, Fluttering Hasode's cooldown is reduced by 12 seconds, allowing her to recast her skill more frequently. Additionally, her normal attack damage increases by 235% of her defense, making it worthwhile to use the tailoring effect from her A1 passive, giving her Geo infusion. When discussing Chiori's weapon options, several choices stand out based on investment levels, particularly for F2P players. Uraku Misugiri is considered her best in slot sword, offering a perfect synergy with her abilities and playstyle. Its 88.2% crit damage substat significantly boosts her damage output, while the passive increases her elemental skill damage by 24%. After a nearby character deals geo damage, the effect is further enhanced by 100% for 15 seconds, and the wielder's defense is increased by 20%. Primordial Jade Cutter ranks as her second best option, with a 44.1% crit rate substat at level 90 and an attack boost based on the wielder's max HP. For F2P players, Harbinger of Dawn is a reliable choice. Chiori's typical off-field role allows her to maintain the weapon's HP requirement with ease, especially when paired with strong shields like Zhongli's. However, in teams with Furina, a robust healer is needed to sustain Harbinger of Dawn's passive effect. Cinnabar Spindle performs comparably to Harbinger of Dawn, and is an event-exclusive weapon introduced in version 2.3, which may not be available to all players. This weapon provides buffs to the user's elemental skill and a massive substat of 69% defense. Wolf Fang, a Battle Pass weapon, offers a similar performance to Harbinger of Dawn, performing marginally worse at R1 but potentially outshining it at R5. This weapon provides a crit rate of 27.6% at level 90, and increases the elemental skill and burst damage of the user by 16% at R1, and 32% at R5, with additional crit rate on landing elemental skill and burst. Favonius Sword is highlighted as her best team-oriented F2P option, providing essential energy recharge to team members. However, since the substat is not advantageous for Chiori directly, it should only be considered when energy generation is a critical need for the team's functionality. For Chiori's artifacts, the 4-piece Golden Troop set is the top choice, offering a significant boost to her skill damage percent, which is crucial for maximizing her overall damage output. Farming this set should be a priority to fully unlock her potential. Alternatively, the 4-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams is a solid option, providing strong uptime on defense stacks, particularly from the second rotation onward. For mixed sets, a combination of 2-piece Golden Troop, 2-piece Archaic Petra, or 2-piece Husk of Opulent Dreams can effectively fill gear gaps. The best combination, assuming equal substats, is 2-piece Golden Troop and 2-piece Husk, balancing both damage and versatility. For optimal performance, Chiori's artifact selection should focus on enhancing her damage output through a combination of defense and geo damage stats. The recommended main stats are as follows: use defense percent for the sands, geo damage percent or defense percent for the goblet, and crit stats for the circlet. When it comes to substats, prioritize them in this order. Chiori scales better with defense stats than with attack, making it unnecessary to heavily invest in energy recharge substats. While geo damage percent goblets generally provide better overall performance, defense percent goblets can be strong alternatives if they have superior substat distributions. However, it's advisable to avoid using triple defense percent main stats to maintain a balanced build. Moving on to team comps, when building teams for Chiori, focus on synergy with her Geo teammates, as they enable her to summon 2 Tamoto dolls at C0 and activate her Ascension 4 passive buff. At C1, any Geo character can trigger an additional Tamoto doll. Ideal Geo construct characters include Zhongli, Albedo, Itto, Ningguang, and the Geo Traveler. Other viable Geo options include Navia, Noelle, Goru, and Yunjin. Chiori excels in teams with on-field or quick-swap DPS units. For Geo teammates, Itto, Ningguang, Navia, and Noelle are solid choices. In non-Geo compositions, pairing Chiori with Zhongli or Albedo allows for flexibility in character roles and team order. It's important to arrange the team so the on-field character can seamlessly swap in after Chiori uses her skill. First up, we have the Mono Geo teams. This team comprises of Itto as an on-field DPS, Noelle for healing, Goru as buffer, and Chiori as an off-field support. This combination maximizes Geo constructs with Ushi providing a flexible fourth slot. Chiori's consistent Geo particle generation supports both Itto and Goru, significantly lowering their energy recharge requirements, allowing Chiori to use her burst every rotation with minimal ER investment. Next up is the Navia and Chiori team comp. Pairing Navia with Chiori and a Pyro, Electro, Cryo, Hydro character leverages Chiori's Geo application and particle generation. Chiori's lack of Geo particle generation on skill cast allows for more flexible rotations. This initial setup rivals the Zhongli configuration, utilizing Bennett's 4-piece Noblesse Oblige buff effectively without losing damage potential. You can also use Furina to boost damage, while Kokomi provides essential healing, maintaining the team's sustainability. Next up is a viable double Geo core which could be structured as Flex, Chiori, Zhongli or a Geo unit. This setup is strong due to Zhongli's resistance shred, shielding, and lasting Geo constructs. Alternatively, pairing Chiori with Albedo offers excellent off-field damage. However, both Chiori and Albedo compete for weapon slots, impacting team versatility. Example configuration setup includes the one shown in screen, as Hu Tao requires Xingqiu, and the other two slots are pretty much allocated for more utility or damage. The second setup works decently, since Liney is primarily played in mono Pyro teams. However, you are losing on Liney's passive which he gets, when he is played with multiple Pyro teams. In the next setup, we will be using Arlecchino. She herself is a really strong unit. If you want to hit big numbers, go with Bennett. If you are focusing on Vaporize, then go with Xingqiu. And the final setup is a potential Wanderer team, but without Faruzen. Fischl, Chiori, and Zhongli all have low field time requirements, and allow a 17-second rotation. Wanderer uses his burst when available. It's important to note that this team archetype is not recommended, as playing an off-field core requires additional utility or anemo characters for significant damage output, which the double Geo core lacks. Characters like Arlecchino, Wanderer, Hu Tao, and Liney can effectively benefit from Chiori's off-field capabilities, while providing the necessary utility to enhance overall damage. To wrap things up, Chiori is a solid B-tier character, really shining in a sub-DPS role, especially if you're running a Geo-focused team. Her damage potential is pretty decent, but her utility is definitely more niche compared to other characters. That said, she actually outperforms Albedo overall, so if you're building a team around Navia or other Geo units, she's a great option. Chiori's real strength comes from her off-field support. She can add a lot to your team's damage without needing to be on the field all the time. However, she's not super versatile, so she's best in more specific team comps. If this video helped you out, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've got plenty of F2P guides to help optimize your teams, so check those out, and stay tuned for more character guides. Thank you for watching, and may you all have a great day.